In today's video, we're going to do a price breakdown on my 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor build. Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. My name's Will and this is the Win Me YouTube channel. Like always, I gotta hit you with the real quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video, you enjoyed it, you like this type of content, think about hitting that subscribe button right down below. Just sends you a quick little notification whenever I'm posting some new content out there. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool. A like is always really appreciated as well. Now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. So like I said at the beginning, today we're going to be doing a price breakdown on my Ford Ranger Raptor build. So have quite a few mods done at this point. Haven't done everything that I've wanted to do so far, but I figured, you know, we've checked off a lot of those boxes so far on this build, so I figured check in with you guys, give you a quick price breakdown on everything. I get a lot of questions all the time. Hey, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? How much does this cost? You know, guys, you could totally go look up all of that on Google yourself and see exactly how much it costs, but I'm going to do it for you guys today, I guess, since you all like instant gratification. So I'm going to turn you guys around, run you through my entire build, share all the parts that I've had installed on mine so far, and give you the cost at the end of the video of the entire build. So for all of you that don't know, let me turn you guys around and show you my Ranger Raptor. Here it is, 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. A little over 20,000 miles on it at this point. I've had it for just about 10 months, so definitely racking up those miles during my ownership. So yeah, if you haven't, you know, checked out a bunch of my other videos on the channel, I'm gonna have the Ranger Raptor playlist linked down below. I constantly post videos on this thing, so if you're looking to pick up a Ranger Raptor, go check out that channel. Or if you are a Ranger Raptor owner and you just like the mod videos and stuff, yeah, go ahead and check that out. So first things first, and honestly one of my favorite modifications and one of the first modifications I did to my truck was the Raptor style grill marker lights. I started out with the Signature Lux. They honestly weren't all too impressive. They started to build up condensation within the first few weeks of ownership, so I switched them out to the Bustos full LED panel replacement, and honestly it's really your best option if you're wanting to do the grill marker lights on your truck. I don't know why you'd buy anything else other than these. It's a full panel replacement. It looks 100% OEM. The LED lights are flushed and recessed perfectly inside of there. It comes pre-wired. They have amber as well as clear white marker lights. You can literally decide which ones you want to use by switching your aux switch on the interior. And for the price, sub $200, they are by far the best choice on the market. I've been running them now for almost the entire 10 months of ownership that I've owned this truck, and they are still working absolutely perfectly. Secondly, I also have their puddle lights that install right up here, so that you get puddle lights from the factory and they're just the white ones. I have the amber Raptor logo ones. Obviously it's the daytime right now. I'll overlay an image right here as well. So those are really cool, really inexpensive modification for your Ranger Raptor. Carrying on towards the rear of the truck, we have the Most Plus 3-fold hard tonneau cover. For the price, this tonneau cover is absolutely awesome. I've had it installed now for quite a few months. As you can see, no wear, nothing like that on the exterior of it. Still really nice, and black color hasn't faded out. Really good condition. My truck lives outdoors, so it's always in the Florida sun, and it's been holding up perfectly fine. Really simple to install, and another thing that I absolutely love is that it's super simple to remove as well if you need to carry anything. It's just secured with these brackets in the front and the rear, and it's super simple to just fold up over towards the front if you need to carry anything in the back, and it just secures to these little buckles up top as well. So really awesome product for your Ranger Raptor if you're looking for a hard tonneau cover without breaking the bank. And like I said before, links will be down in the description for all of these products, as well as installation videos for you guys too. Wrapping right around this way, we just have some Ford Performance bedside decals. I think that looks really cool. It's just a little, you know, addition on there. Really cheap, inexpensive. I think like 30-40 bucks. Those will be linked down as well. Get a lot of questions on where I got those, so yeah, I think they look really rad. And like the silver matches like the silver on the Raptor bedside graphics as well. So if you don't have like the full graphics kit, I think that's a nice little addition to just kind of set your truck apart from the rest. Then to finish out the exterior aesthetics, I just did the window tint up front and did a very light, almost transparent tint on the windshield just to keep out like the UV rays. That was a 3M crystalline film, I think is what they call it. And honestly, I just matched up the front with the rear, so it just kept it all cohesive. And honestly, at this point, I wish I would have done a little bit of a darker tint on the windshield, but you know, it is what it is. It does, you know, what it's supposed to do by keeping out the heat. So yeah, I think that more or less finishes the aesthetic modification. So let's dive on into the interior now. On the interior, I haven't done all too much yet. I do really love how the interior just comes from the factory, but did install these Built Right Industry Moly panel tech plates on the rear of the two front seats. So as you can see right here, I just have some of my tools, Milwaukee pack out that's attached to it right here. So these are pretty cool. You just pull up on this and it removes, you know, the Milwaukee pack out, and then it has the panels on there. So if you're like a tradesman or you like to carry gear for overlanding or anything, these things really come in handy by, you know, freeing up a lot of like room on your seats and on your floors and stuff. Like I said, we have those on the back of the driver and passenger seat over there. Really cool product, and I will have the install video for that as well on the channel. And then up front, nothing really crazy, but do have a dash cam just installed right there. That's the Viofo dash cam. Just did an installation video on that as well, hard wiring it into the Ranger Raptor. Always recommend having a dash cam on any of your vehicles, especially if you're like, this is like your work truck and you don't want to have any sort of a scary lawsuits pop up. If God forbid something happens on the road, it's always good to protect yourself with a dash cam. But that more or less wraps up everything on the interior. Haven't done too much inside here. Have thought about doing the code orange seatbelts. I thought that'd be a nice touch to just kind of accent the interior. I do like the stock steering wheel. I'm typically one to switch out my steering wheels to a custom one, but I do really like this one. Maybe I'll switch it out eventually to like a Alcantara one, but yeah, for now, that wraps up the interior. Now let's dive under the hood. So not much done under here yet, and yet is the key word, because we have a lot of plans to do a lot of work underneath here and make this Ranger Raptor an absolute beast. And now that I sold my S650, which was my high horsepower build on the channel, I'm pretty eager to get dived into this and start making some pretty crazy power with it. Trying to do it right. Want to do as much research as possible before I start pulling triggers on a bunch of parts and make sure everything works correctly here. But so far, we just laid down a little bit of groundwork on things that will just complement the future builds on the channel. So right over here, we have the oil catch can, oil separator can from OSC. These things always spark up big debates. It's up to you if you want to run an oil catch can. I always have on all of my boosted applications. I'm in South Florida. I'm not in a cold climate, so I don't really have to worry about, you know, any sort of other turbo seal or seal damages with oil catch cans. For me, they've always worked really great. I've always had great success with an oil catch can, but I will leave that up to you guys if you want to install one or not. OSC has been a great supporter of the channel. I've ran a bunch of their products. They've always been really great. I don't really have any complaints. So yeah, that's one accessory under the hood. Over here, we have the Turbo Smart blow-off valve. That is the vent to atmosphere one, so you get the nice little cool ricer Fast and the Furious noise there with that. So really simple installation there. You just remove the stock one and install that one back on. So those two accessories right there. And then the only other thing under here you can't see, I have a K&N drop-in air filter over here. Another kind of topic up for debate on if these are good filters or not. But like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of work under here soon, and at the end of the video I'll kind of just go over and share some of my plans with you guys. But if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions, go down in the comment section and share what you'd like to see done on the Ranger Raptor. And if you are a Ranger Raptor owner, share some modifications you've done that you've had some great success with. So next on the list is where a majority of my funds have been allocated so far on my build, and that is in the wheels, tires, and suspension setup. And as you can see, we're definitely not on the stock setup anymore. So for suspension, I have the Fout Motorsports 2.5-inch perch collars right there. I know that's another controversial thing here in the Ranger Raptor community. A lot of people say they ruin your ride and your truck and all of that, and I'm gonna just go out here and say that the people that are saying that 9 times out of 10 have zero experience with a perch collar. Fouts has been around for a while. They've been doing this for the Raptors for a very long time at this point. If you think you know more than Greg Fouts, I'm sure he would love to have a debate with you guys, so maybe reach out to him and share your vast knowledge of off-road suspension setups with, you know, a guy that has sent multiple trucks out to the Baja 1000. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that for you guys. There's always a really solid debate with the Ranger Raptor with going with a perch collar versus a spacer lift. A lot of people say it ruins your ride if you recalibrate the ride height suspension, which yes, you can do with a perch collar. It brings it right back to factory comfort. So yeah, if you want to do a spacer lift, that's perfectly fine. You can do that on your truck. If you want to do a preload collar, you can do that too. You can do whatever you want with your truck, and then you can have some first-hand experience and you can share your thoughts and all of that. But like I said, I've ran perch collars on a bunch of my vehicles. I've never had any issues with them. I personally believe there's pros and cons to both setups, and you can just pick and choose which is gonna fit right for your build. And now that I'm done with that rant, we can talk about wheels and tires. And I apologize that they're looking a little dirty today, but I was on some gravel trails yesterday. So for the tires, we are running X-Comp Gladiator XT tires. These are an in-between an all-terrain and a mud-terrain tire, so they're kind of like a hybrid, pretty aggressive, like side lugs there, tread pattern and all of that. They are a little loud on the road, and they do not perform great in the rain. Like I said in my prior video, I probably won't be going with these again, but now I kind of know where I want to go with the whole Ranger Raptor build, so this was a good learning process. These are 35 by 12 50 R17 tires, so they are a 35, but they measure at 34 inches. Next on the list is we have the most expensive part on my build, which are the wheels. These are Volk Racing TE37 XT M specs. They are a 17 by 8.5 with a plus 15 offset in a gloss black finish. Really baller wheels, forged, made in Japan, Rays Engineering, Volk Racing. If you're a JDM fanboy like I am, you already know what you're looking at here. Then just some accessories off of that as well. We have the Rays Engineering center caps. The wheels don't come with the center caps, just FYI. If you're looking to buy any of these Rays wheels, you do have to buy the center caps separately. And then I also have the matching Rays lug nuts in there as well. So those two things are also just separate accessories for this whole package here. So let's go ahead and do the total cost breakdown here so I can have a bit of a heart attack to see how much money I've actually spent so far on the Ranger Raptor. So let's start with the exterior aesthetic modifications. Grille lights, they were $200. Puddle lights, an additional $100. Tint, $250. The bed cover, the tonneau cover, that was $400. And then the side decals on the bedside, that was an additional $40. I will have the total for that right down here. Next up, the interior. I have the Built Right Industries Molly panel kit with the optional Milwaukee pack-out bracket. That was $500. And then for the Viofo dash cam, that was an additional $200 there as well. So there's a total for that. Next up on the list, the very small minor performance modifications I've done so far. Oil catch can, $200. The TurboSmart recirculating blow-off valve, that was $300, and then the K&N drop-in air filter, that was $80. And now for the gut-wrenching portion of the build. The wheels from Japan shipped were $4,000. Then the center caps, which were an additional charge, were an extra $200. Then an additional $250 for the matching Volk Racing lug nuts. Then the tires, cheaper part of the build, $1,000 for the tires. And then For the leveling perch collar kit from Fouts Motorsports, that was $250. Another thing that I am going to include in the build was the Forescan OBD2 reader. I needed to purchase that so I could reprogram the ride height calibration on my Ranger Raptor, but that was only $150. Grand total for the entire build was $7,870. So yeah, I would say my build so far is a pretty mild build. Honestly, the biggest factor in that entire build were the wheels, and obviously you don't need to spend $4,000 on a set of wheels. I'm the only dumbass that decides to go spend $4,000 on a set of forged wheels for my daily driver truck. You can honestly pick up a set of methods for like $1,100 and save yourself like $3 grand there. So honestly, a majority of my plans have to do with the performance side. Definitely plan on doing a larger intercooler to combat the Florida heat and humidity here. I'm going to be doing a stage 2 intercooler, just not 100% sure on which one I want to run yet. So if you guys are running a stage 2 intercooler, go down in the comments and share your thoughts and opinions on the one you're running on your Ranger Raptor. To pair off with that, I'm going to be doing the charge piping, do all of that at the same time, and might as well. Next up, I definitely want to install some downpipes. Haven't decided if I want to go balls to the wall and do catless downpipes, or if I want to do a high flow cat setup, since this is my daily driver, just to keep it a little bit more mellow and not so ear piercing with drones. So we'll see what I decide to do with that, but downpipes are definitely going to be needed, because to kind of wrap it all up, I want to do turbo upgrades. I don't know if I want to do the Garrett drop-in turbo upgrades or wait and see if any other like stock frame upgraded turbos come available. So we'll see in regards to that. Basically full bolt-ons and then drop-in upgraded turbos. And then obviously I'm going to be needing a full custom tune. More than likely I'll be going with Goose Tune. So if you're watching this video, we need to have a little bit of a chat. But yeah, guys, that's more or less going to do it for this one. Wanted to just do a quick check-in video with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, go down below, share your thoughts, ask away. I'm always really quick to reply to anyone if you have questions or concerns. So yeah, let's chop it up down in the comments section below. Really appreciate you guys chilling with me today. Don't forget to hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button. All those things are really appreciated. My name's Will. This is my YouTube channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.